a group that is like a VIP group, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to be really straightforward of like, this is going to be a VIP group and this is what you get.
You're listening to Thrive by Design, business, marketing, and lifestyle strategies for your jewelry brand to flourish and thrive. Let's get started.
Well, hello there, as Chelsea Handler would say. This is Tracy Matthews of the Thrive by Design podcast. This is so random, and this is really bad for sleep, but when I go to bed, sometimes I turn my iPad on and lay in bed because if I'm tired, I'll get in bed a little bit early, but I'm not quite ready to fall asleep. And I turn on Chelsea Handler on Netflix. And one of the things that she always does is turn around in her chair and say, well, hello there. And so I don't know why, I just started the podcast that way this time today. So for those of you who don't know, I'm Tracy Matthews, the host here at Thrive by Design. I'm also the Chief Visionary Officer over at Flourish and Thrive Academy. And I love bringing this podcast to you every week, especially when I have new things to share and new ideas to share, which is hopefully pretty much every week. But you never know. Maybe you've heard something before. But today I have a special guest on, Lauren Zavlinov. Lauren is a graduate of Flourish and Thrive Academy. She's taken several of our courses, including Laying the Foundation, which just closed for enrollment. And she is also one of our coaches in the Diamond Insiders Club. And she has another business that teaches jewelry designers and makers how to build social media presence. So she's got a lot to share today. And one of the things that I really love about Lauren is that she is a huge fan of Facebook and has continued to grow her jewelry business using Facebook to build leads, to grow her audience, to make more sales. And it's been really incredible to watch her grow. And you know, when everyone's like switching over to other platforms, she's really stuck with Facebook and she has a lot of success using Facebook, especially Facebook groups, to sell more of her jewelry. So I'm excited for you right now because you're going to learn a lot. So make sure that you grab a pen and some paper so you can take notes. And let's dive right into the interview with Lauren. I know you're going to learn so much. So without further ado, let's do it. Well, I'm excited to be here on the show today because I have a really wonderful interview lined up with a Flourish and Thrive Academy member, and she's also one of the community leaders of our Diamond Insiders Club. And I'm thrilled today to have Lauren Zavlinov here to talk a little bit more about Facebook groups. Lauren, thanks so much for being on the show today.
Thank you, Tracy. I'm super excited to be here.
Well, I'm excited because there's been a lot of chitty chatter in our groups about what do you use a Facebook group for? What's the difference between a Facebook group and a Facebook page? And how can you use a Facebook group to actually grow your business? So I'm really excited to have you here to talk a little bit about that because I know you've done it for your jewelry business and you're going to share some of the things that you've learned, right?
Absolutely. I'm really excited about Facebook groups. And for those who know me or don't know me, I'm kind of a Facebook junkie. So
yeah, you're on top of the Facebook and we like that. I'll call it the Facebook. So before we get started, for people who don't know you, I'm going to give you just a little formal intro and then we are going to go from there. Does that sound good?
Awesome.
All right. So Lauren is the owner designer at Jewels of Saraswati, the founder of Social Jewels, and the co-founder at Social Ignited. She grew her jewelry business online from the ground up using social media to build an engaged following of thousands. Today, in addition to her jewelry business, her passion is showing other jewelry designers that they can successfully build their own tribe online for consistent sales and traffic. Lauren has helped hundreds of designers rock their social media through online courses, webinars, and her new membership site, the Social Jewels Society. So thanks again for being here, girl.
Thank you.
So why don't you tell us all a little bit about yourself and your journey? I talked about a little bit of it here, but you can go into slight more detail if that sounds good.
Yeah, sure. It's a little, I guess it's kind of interesting. So hey guys again, and thanks for having me, Tracy. As you may know, like I said before, I'm kind of a Facebook junkie, but I actually started out in a career that may seem pretty irrelevant actually to what I am doing right now. But it was kind of the start for all of this for me and my love of social media. So I actually hold several degrees in music performance, and I was a professional flutist and performer throughout New York City for many years. And I trained at a conservatory and managed as well as performed with a woodwind quintet, it's just a small ensemble. And I was in charge of not only booking venues, but getting folks actually like physically in the seats to our performances, which is really hard. And once I learned the power of social media, I was totally hooked on using it for our group and just, building our audience. And it really was so amazing how we could spread the word about our performances, build awareness for our group, and even connect with venues to create more opportunities for gigs. So that was a lot of fun, but after my daughter was born, I could no longer practice, 6 to 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
So that was a little challenging, but I ended up putting music aside a little bit to spend time with her. And I eventually ended up really being drawn to creating spiritual jewelry and mala beads. And I would actually sneak in some creation time while she slept and got on Facebook and, whenever she, had a little downtime there. And I was avidly practicing yoga, and just somehow my passion for creating jewelry and my love for meditation, it blossomed into a business. And social media, specifically Facebook, was really what grew my tribe online and literally built my business. I started out really small, but grew rapidly to hundreds, then thousands of followers. And I didn't actually do physical craft shows because I was home with my daughter. So I made the online world my playground, so to speak. And then I just ended up, really going at it. I researched, I studied, I tested, and I began really digging deep into the nuances of Facebook, as well as other social media outlets to make sales and build brand awareness for my jewelry business and develop my brand essence. And as I grew a super engaged community with Facebook, other designers, they just started jumping in and asking me, well, how are you doing that? And, you have so many followers. How's that happening? And how are you getting sales from social media? So eventually, I created Social Jewels, which actually started as a Facebook group. So, I wanted to have a community of jewelry designers where they can just, hang out, meet, like have a safe space for asking, like not feeling like they're asking a stupid question about social media, and show them how they can use social media strategy really authentically. And, I was given free workshops and trainings and just teaching them how to use social media to grow their business. And that's where I'm at right now.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for sharing your journey. And so you have taken a bunch of our courses over at Flourish and Thrive too. When did you find us? I feel like you've been in the community for at least like 2 to 3 years.
Oh yeah, I think maybe even from the beginning.
Yeah, maybe around the first
launch.
time we launched Laying the Foundation.
Yes, I think it was another designer that I had connected with, and she did Jyotish astrology and created jewelry, and somehow we connected, and she was like, hey, there are these awesome ladies. You got to just check them out. And I was like, oh my God. And that's the first time I actually ever really invested in my business. And no regrets for sure.
I love that. Yeah, I've seen you kind of like really explode, which is awesome. Okay, so let's dive right into this. So I know that you've used this in your business, and I want to talk first about, just to clarify the difference between a Facebook page and a Facebook group, because I know a lot of people get a little bit confused on how to use them. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I'll be happy to break it down. So there are on Facebook, there are personal profiles where you add your personal friends, people and build a personal community. And then, just a side note, never ever use your personal profile for your business, because that can actually get you in trouble for Facebook. So that's really all your personal stuff is hosted. And then there's the Facebook business page, where you build a public following for your business, and pages they're like a public profile that anyone can see what you're posting and what you're sharing. And in addition, Facebook pages offer really great features that can benefit businesses. So you get access to tons of analytics that are just like so awesome. So you get analytics features, sign up buttons, Facebook ads. So through the Facebook page, you can, access and do Facebook ads for your business. And now you even actually have templates for your Facebook page. So that is the Facebook page. And then there are groups. And Facebook initially created groups with the intention of having a space for people with like-minded interests to gather, have discussions and chats, even create events, post and share about a specific topic or lifestyle.
Like a forum.
Yeah, absolutely. So people are going in there, they're hanging out. It's not necessarily like, business. So it can be anything. And, if you do this, just go on the search, like you can search for pretty much any topic or niche. It's there, weird or otherwise, like there is a group for it. So they're very, very different. Groups are really different in many aspects and can have different privacy settings. They can be open, meaning open to the public where anyone can see the posts and join. They can be closed where people who land on the group page can see the group and the description, but not the actual post inside or the content unless they request to join and they're approved by an admin of some kind. Or they can be secret, where you can only find the group if you're given the exact link to request to join it. So I think cracking the code of Facebook can feel like a puzzle sometimes, even though it can really feel like a challenge to actually reach your customers. Facebook offers so many amazing features that are almost unknown, underutilized, and sometimes just simply ignored. So I think Facebook groups is absolutely one of those features.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit more about how you would use a Facebook group for your business, because it is very different than a page. Like a page, you want to be careful about trying to sell too much or be kind of spammy. The page is really more about creating a conversation, getting your brand out there, creating brand awareness and, motivating people to take an action, not necessarily selling. So why don't you, not that you necessarily use the group that way, but I want to hear from you, how you would use a Facebook group for sales and other reasons why you might want to use a Facebook group to help grow your business.
Right. Yeah. This is my favorite part because there's, not that it's controversial, but there's a lot of people using Facebook a lot of different ways. And my jam is really to create a community and a tribe so that selling is it's very organic and not icky. It's that, a lot of designers are really worried about putting themselves out there and feeling like I'm selling, I don't know, it feels icky. Well, it never should feel icky because whenever it comes from an authentic place and you're creating a real community, that's when that stuff happens and it's just organic and it's super magical. So I think what most businesses, they don't know is that groups are a growing platform for them to profit and create a deeper bond with potential or current clients and customers. It has been changing recently. I know Facebook always is, but there are some really amazing ways jewelry designers and other product-based businesses are making sales using Facebook groups. But they're still really quite different from a business page. So the actual algorithms and reach are different than pages. So that's kind of a plus. Although I have noticed,
beneficial. Yeah,
I have noticed that's changing too because Facebook is realizing people are using it for business. But still, if you have a super engaged group, that's not going to be so much a problem. We'll talk about how to do that. And those
also you get notifications for the group.
Yes, yes, and that is also a plus, huge plus. So the members of your group they're more likely to see your posts on the feed, which is huge. Once again, Facebook's ever shifting, but there's a certain mentality to groups that really benefits those who use them in addition to Facebook pages. So you still need a Facebook business page as kind of like the face of your business. I always like to think of it as like an addition to your website, like going a little bit deeper. But groups feel more personal, and that is a huge advantage because they tend to be smaller and feel like a community. And this was the whole intention of Facebook groups when they created them. That feeling creates more of a bond or a closeness between members. So psychologically, that's such a huge thing. So there's an exclusivity that you can nurture with groups. And because you can set up your group to have people approve before letting them actually see the post, it feels like they've been, invited into a special club. That psychological aspect can really shift how your customer interacts with your brand and ultimately increases your marketing effectiveness and even your sales.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm all about the groups, right?
Yeah. So I thought you were going to say something else, so I didn't want to cut you off. I have more questions for you, a lot more. Why would you want to kind of create a Facebook group? When is a business page just not enough?
So honestly, I like to just tell people, like, if you can do it, do it. But if you feel like you have like 20,000 things on your plate, and you're not going to go in there, and be able to be in there and give your full effort, then I say don't do a Facebook group, because you really have to be in there. So there are like so many ways that you can use the group, and it's really, really up to the designer, how they want to do it. And we'll definitely talk about a bunch of ways that you can actually use. And I want to share, some of the ways like the top jewelry designers can successfully use a group. But before we dig in, I just want to mention that there are just certain elements that are a must to be successful using groups. This is why I'm always like, well, it's up to you, because once you have these elements, you can make serious headway. But if you're not going to be in there, that first element is consistency. So if you're not going to be in there and you're not going to be consistent, you're not really going to have success with a group. So your group is, it's your community, and you're only going to get out of it the effort you put in. So if you're expecting people to show up every day in your group, interact, and eventually buy, then you're going to need to show up. And if you're showing up every day inside your group, so will your people. It really takes time and effort. And this is why groups may not be for everyone, but the effort is so worth it. It is so worth it. Like, I've done launches in groups, and honestly, I've been testing like different ways to do things, and I love my groups because they've gotten me the most successful launches. So I definitely, recommend giving this a try. But the second element, and I think this is the big one, and everyone wants to know, like, how can I just want to make sales? Like, oh no, don't tell me I got to do another thing. Like, this is scary. But honestly, it so pays off if you think about your group as a community first before anything else. So if you're going in and you're creating a group simply to just hard sell every day, it's probably one of the biggest mistakes I see a lot of people doing, because your people are just going to tune you out after they see like 20 jewelry photos and their prices, right? Or a flash sale, like every day.
So can you give me some examples? Because I know like some people use them for groups. So like what would be some, like if you're going to create a Facebook group for your jewelry brand to eventually like sell and keep like the group open for a long period of time, like this would be an exception of like if you're doing a flash sale or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like what are some example posts that you would put in there?
So here's how I would sort of frame it. A lot of people have that like 80%, 20% rule or something. So that you're talking about that 20% of selling, which comes really, really easily after you're doing that 80% of engagement. And we can talk about how to create a really engaging group too. So in terms of promos, you can use your group for, and this is all decided beforehand and super strategic. So if you want to have, like, for instance, a group that is like a VIP group, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to be really straightforward of like, this is going to be a VIP group and this is what you get. So you perhaps get like specific content or tips or, a juicy little PDF, like style guide plus, special coupons or something. So you're going to decide whether or not you're going to be in that group selling with those coupons, like 20% off, like every Friday or something like that, where they get that access. And they know what to expect. So you can use your group for, running special events like flash sales. You can give them special offers and coupons only to members of the group. Just make sure that you only give those to the members of the group, not like you're doing that for your newsletter and then you're posting on your social. So really, be true to what you're saying. You can use it like a VIP membership. You can have sample sales. You can even have exclusive pre-sales or pre-orders in your group. That works really well. Another possibility is to offer like special freebies, like I said, or content that only members can access, like digital PDFs, special articles, tips. And this all really depends on your brand and your brand lifestyle. So you can do you can do one of these or combination of these or, any of that.
You could do like maybe like a weekly like care tip or something for jewelry cleaning, or like if you had a yoga brand like yours, I could see you like mantra of the week or something like that, or mantra of the month.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So if you're thinking about starting a group, before you set it up, you're going to think about what you realistically, first of all, can commit to for your group. And then you're going to build a strategy around that. So are you going to be in there every day, once a day, prompting engagement with your community and then have like a flash sale every Friday? Or do you want to run it more like a VIP club and give an insider's look at new items? Like people love to see behind the scenes, or are you going to offer, special coupons and things like that? But honestly, how you structure your promos, to me, and I found, isn't as important as how you structure your methods of engagement and interaction and the consistency in which you do so, really. Sometimes cool. I just like to think of it like a big party. When I have this mindset, I create an environment for people to join me, stick around, share a little bit about themselves too. It helps me feel more like a host and drives me to find creative ways to offer them value. So your group has to have some kind of value. So initially, people are going to be attracted to that. Yeah, okay, I'm going to get that coupon, or I'm going to get that whatever. But if they don't know you and they're not ready to buy, right? People, what is it? It takes 6 to 8 interactions for a customer or potential customer to even decide whether or not they want to purchase. So you want to make those interactions in your Facebook group really, really count. And I think that you going in there and having a special every single day come in and have a prompt for them. So where you can say it's like you're saying, it's Mantra Monday, guys, comment below and share your mantra of the day, or, just encouraging them, have a very specific call to action on those posts so that you have people coming in and commenting, and you're basically just nurturing a community first.
So that's awesome. I love all those strategies, and that would be great for an ongoing open group. But I know that there's other ways you can use groups, and I'm going to ask you a few questions about that.
Yeah,
but real quick, what would be how do you incentivize someone to actually join the group?
Yeah.
Are these people that you're feeding from your email list? I mean, because I see groups as a way to use to build your email list, but also a way you could funnel people in from your email list.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So this is such a huge question, because I get to ask this a lot, because so many people kind of freak out at this stage, because it really seems exciting. You're like, oh my God, it's going to be a big party. And, however you're setting it up, I'm going to have, sales, and I'm going to really learn about my customers, and you can get huge customer insight. Awesome. But who do I ask to come in? So here are just a few ways you can actually grow your group right away if you're just starting out. So once you have your group set up, and once again, I recommend setting your group to closed, by the way. I didn't mention that before, but it's so people can need to request and get approval to join.
Yeah.
Because it has that sort of that little exclusivity. Yeah. So then what you want to do is first you can send out, like you said, you can send out a dedicated email to your email list that explains the benefits of joining your VIP group, or whatever you're going to call it, and include the Facebook link, and then make sure that you tell them exactly how to join. And the reason why I say that, tell them exactly how to join, is many people, they may know Facebook in general, but they may not know groups. So they may not understand that they have to, click request to join and not know exactly what needs to be done. So if you want to grow your group, just make sure you're letting people, okay, do this, this, and this. Sometimes people need to know exactly what to do. And then the next step would be to grow your group, would be personal invitations. I know many designers have customers that are super fans and repeat buyers, whether they're at shows or whatever. And you can actually send out personal emails to those customers. And I think personal emails are a really, really nice touch. And you can reach out to them individually and tell them you think they might be a great fit for your VIP group, or however you choose to frame it, and then invite them to join. Another way is also ask them if they know anybody else who would enjoy, coming in. So asking your group to physically invite other people is a great way to do that. And then, of course, you'll want to announce your group on your social media channels. So once again, you're going to always emphasize the unique benefits of being part of the special group, not just hey, you get a coupon, but hey, come on in. It's a huge party. We talk about, depending on say your jewelry has a specific lifestyle. I create yoga jewelry. So I have a group that is attached to a challenge that I have, a mantra challenge. So, you can always kind of play off of the lifestyle of your jewelry. Hey, come on in and I'll show you meditation tips, or,
But I think for for someone with a fashion line, maybe it could be we're going to we're going to geek out on fashion or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so many ways you could play it up, and thinking outside the box is awesome, because if nobody else is doing it, it gives you that kind of edge. So you're going to announce that on your social media. You might want to create like a nice graphic that sort of represents the group or is similar to whatever little graphic you're putting on top of your Facebook group. And then post that, link it on your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter, even Pinterest. And if you're really going at it with your Facebook group, you can even, if you have your, let's say, Instagram, give it a shot. Try and test to see if you can get people inside your group by using a link that leads to your Facebook group. So, join the VIP group, and then actually have it in your Instagram bio, things like that.
That's a great idea. And, the key word there, I think, is test, because not everything works for every single brand. So you got to try it. Yeah. So I want to veer the conversation a little bit to reasons why you would use like open and close a group, because I think this is, I think like the VIP thing is a great idea, but for a lot of brands that's not going to really work, or maybe people don't have the time to really like spend in there like nurturing a group all the time. Like, what are some other reasons why you might want to use a group really like quickly, like open a group for a short period of time and then close it?
Oh yeah, I mean that there's a ton of things you can do with that. Actually, just before we moved on, I actually had another really great one.
Okay,
which is
sorry.
I just realized, I'm like, wait a second, there's my favorite one. Going back to sharing your group. And this is actually how I get the most people inside my group is you can include it in your opt-in, like the thank you page of your opt-in, or your automated, like your welcome series. And that's really where I like to include that, because if for those people who don't know, opt-in is just a freebie, enticing freebie or offer that you can give people in exchange for their email. So when people sign up for that, then you're going to put on the thank you page, thanks so much, I'll be sending you a free PDF or soon. And in the meantime, come join our awesome group. And then you put the link. And then also you can put it in a welcome email series, which is just, nurturing your people once they sign up. You have an automated series. And in one of those, you can just talk about being in your group. So yeah, so I know a lot of people perhaps might find it daunting to have another social media channel to like tag on, but there's absolutely so many other ways. Once again, thinking outside of the box, if you have a flash sale or if you have an event, I love doing trunk shows. I do it through an actual event or event page through my business, but you can use a group to run specific events like that. So say you have a sample sale, I would promote it, like a week or so before and say, hey guys, join the group. There's going to be, a special sample sale. And like every day for a week, I'm going to be posting, new items with special coupon codes or something like that, where you can, incentivize them to get in there and interact too. And then during those events, I love talking to my people and listening to what they like and asking them questions so that you can kind of do a little bit of market research, kind of sneaky in there, to find out, what they're liking, and also testing offers, testing pricing and stuff like that too within a group.
I like the idea of creating urgency too. Like you post something at like every day, you could have a sample sale a week and you post all the items at, let's say 10 a.m. or whatever. And it's like whoever, once they're sold, and whoever gets it first gets it. So yeah, I think that's a great way to do it. So when you're collecting payment, like how do you do it in the group? Do you have them send like money to a specific email address or like on PayPal, or do you drop links in there? Like how do you do that?
Yeah, honestly, like for me, once again, my focus is always like engagement. So I generally don't run. I've seen and looked at a lot of groups doing this. And I don't recommend, like a lot of people say, oh yeah, just send me your PayPal address. But then, oh my God, like it's just so complicated because you're sending out invoices and then, people don't pay. And so that I just generally steer clear of that sort of stuff. What I would do is just make very special coupon codes for them. And
what if you just had like a sale section on your website, you post the link, and then once it's gone, it's gone.
Exactly. I mean, that's how I do my trunk shows, when I do them, as a Facebook event, it's the same thing. You can apply that same thing. I will just put it on my website and send them to the link. And then I'll tell them, but you guys get free goodies. So I use the link also to make sure that I know where it's coming from. So I'll say like trunk show, the code trunk show. So I know that they're coming from that. And I'll say, if you're using this code, like they get a free gift or something too. So that sort of gets them doubly excited. And then also, yes, putting urgency on those types of offers are really, really great. So people are going to be interested in jumping into the group and hanging around because they're going to be like, oh, at like 10 o'clock. Oh my God, she's going to post. Like I've watched my Google Analytics like real time. And for people who've done events with me before, like they're stalking the site like 15 minutes. It's crazy. I'm like, oh my God, before I've even like posted the items. So it's fine. It's fun. You get like a shot of adrenaline there, but people love it. People love that. It can be really, really fun. So it depends on how you want to work it.
Yeah, I love that idea to try and, if I was still hosting sample sales, I would totally use Facebook groups because I feel like when I used to we had really good success with sample sales and like house parties and trunk shows back in the day. But like a lot of times people couldn't make it. And so they were super bummed, but they still wanted to see stuff. So this is like a great way to just like be able to post things.
Oh, yeah. And I always advertise trunk shows like online because that's basically where I do most of my stuff. And I always tell people, like, you can show up in your PJs and nobody knows. Like, they can just shop and, have fun.
Awesome. Cool. So are there any other ways that you would recommend people to use Facebook groups?
Well, I think, honestly, that for me would be it. It really depends on how you want to personally work it, how often you want to be in there, and then, the lifestyle of your brand. So I really highly recommend, really understanding your target market and building a community around that. And honestly, once you get it rolling, it doesn't really take that much. I know a lot of people are sort of scared that they've got, like another thing to do. But people get to know you. Even going in there and doing like Facebook Lives, that is huge. Video is where it's at. So if you go in and you show people who you are on a regular basis, that can really organically help you boost sales because people like to see who the maker is, what you're up to. So that's how I would do it. I run it as a long-term with lots of engagement and, popping in there once a day or once again, scheduling it out because that's what I do. I schedule out a lot of my group posts and you can do that now. So if you have something like Buffer, just go to buffer.com and you can schedule out posts inside groups. So
that's offer. We use Edgar and you can use that.
Yeah.
Edgar
too. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So there's so many ways you can run it. And then the second way would be, test it out have like a week-long sample sale in there, have a bunch of offers that are really limited time, give people coupons, see how it runs, have like a party in there, and see how it works for you. And then you might want to, try it, learn long-term as well, or just use it around the holidays or whenever you've got to, de-stash some stuff.
Yeah. And then I've also heard a lot of designers, this is a little bit like different because you're not really using it for direct to your customers, but you can also use Facebook groups to like de-stash extra inventory or, connect with other designers who might want to like, buy your stuff. You might want to buy their stuff. So I know that there's already de-stashing groups on Facebook, but lots of them.
There's
sure.
a lot of them. Yeah.
At least I've heard people talking about them. Awesome. Lauren, thank you so much for being here today. Where can people find you?
You can find me, the Social Jewels Society. You can find me at lovesocialjewels.com. And, if you want to check out my jewelry, it's jewelsofsaraswati.com. And thank you so much for having me, Tracy.
Oh, it's my pleasure always to talk to you, girl. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Wasn't that awesome? I hope you learned a lot about how to explode your jewelry sales using Facebook groups from Lauren. She is really, really a pro at this. And lots of great takeaways there. So thank you so much for listening today. I hope that you can put some of this information that you learn into action, because we all know that without action, writing down a to-do list, having goals and all that stuff doesn't really matter, because you got to take steps forward towards your dream. So I really encourage you to do that. Take some steps forward, rock on, build your jewelry business. I hope you're boosting your sales and having some amazing results using Facebook groups to grow your jewelry brand. All right, this is Tracy Matthews signing off. Until next time.